Picture this. You meet her. She's everything you've been looking for. Caring, understanding, supportive. She listens when you talk. She laughs at your jokes. She makes you feel seen in a way no one else ever has. 6 months later, you don't recognize your life. Your confidence is shattered. Your friends have disappeared. You're constantly walking on eggshells, second-guessing every word, every action. You feel like you're losing your mind. What happened? You encountered a covert narcissist. And here's what nobody tells you. She left signs everywhere. You just didn't know what to look for. Today, I'm breaking down 7 powerful strategies to protect yourself from female covert narcissists. These aren't just theories. These are practical, proven techniques rooted in psychology that can save your sanity, your relationships, and your sense of self. Stay with me, especially for strategy number 6, because that one doesn't just protect your power. It redefines how she sees you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Before we dive in, hit like and hype buttons. It helps us reach more men who need this information. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss content that could change your life. And drop a comment about what city you're watching from. Let's begin. This is what you're up against. Now, let's talk about how to protect yourself. Strategy 1. Set iron boundaries. Boundaries are your first line of defense. Not walls, not coldness. Boundaries. Here's the thing. Narcissists hate boundaries. They see them as obstacles to control. And that's exactly why you need them. A boundary isn't about controlling her behavior. It's about defining what you will and won't accept in your life. So how do you set them? First, get clear on your values. What matters to you? What are you absolutely not willing to tolerate? Write down your top 5 non-negotiables. Maybe it's respect in how you're spoken to. Maybe it's maintaining your friendships. Maybe it's not being criticized in front of others. Second, communicate them clearly and calmly. Use I statements. I don't continue conversations when someone is yelling at me. Not, you always yell and it's wrong. See the difference? One is about your boundary. The other is an attack that invites defensiveness. Third, and this is critical, follow through with consequences. If you say, I'll leave the room if you continue criticizing my family, and she does it again, you leave. Immediately. No explanation. No argument. You simply enforce your boundary. Here's what will happen. She'll escalate. She'll accuse you of being cold, uncaring, selfish. She'll cry. She'll rage. She might threaten to leave. This is a test. She's testing whether you actually mean what you say. Stay firm. Because here's the truth. Every time you cave on a boundary, you teach her that boundaries don't matter. That if she pushes hard enough, you'll fold. Consistency is everything. One violation you let slide destroys the entire system. Let me give you a real example. She criticizes you in front of your friends. You've told her before this isn't acceptable. It happens again. You don't argue. You don't make a scene. You calmly say, I need to leave. And you go. She'll be furious. She'll call and text demanding explanations. Don't engage. You return when you're ready, and you restate your boundary once. I told you, I won't accept being disrespected publicly. I meant it. That's power. That's protection. That's a boundary. Strategy 2. Trust your gut. Your intuition is one of the most powerful tools you have, and covert narcissists specialize in making you ignore it. Think about it. How many times have you felt that something was off, but you couldn't explain it? That knot in your stomach when she's telling you a story that doesn't quite add up. That tension in your chest when she's being sweet, but something feels wrong. That's your intuition. Your subconscious mind processing thousands of microsignals that your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. And what does she do? She gaslights you out of trusting it. You're paranoid. You're imagining things. Why don't you trust me? You're ruining this relationship with your insecurity. So you ignore the feeling. You tell yourself you're being irrational. And slowly, methodically, you lose connection with your own internal compass. Here's how to rebuild it. Start paying attention to your body. When you're with her or talking to her, do a quick body scan. Is your jaw clenched? Is your stomach tight? Are your shoulders up by your ears? These are messages. After every significant interaction with her, ask yourself, how do I feel? Energized or drained? Confident or confused? Happy or guilty? Your emotional state after being with someone tells you everything you need to know about that relationship. Keep a journal. Write down the moments when something feels off. Don't analyze it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just note it. Today, when she said X, I felt Y. After a few weeks, you'll see patterns, and patterns don't lie. Use the 48-hour rule. If something is bothering you for more than 48 hours, it's real. It doesn't matter what she says. If your discomfort persists, trust it. Here's a scenario. She tells you she was at her friend's house last night. Everything about the story is plausible. But something in your gut says it's off. She gets defensive when you ask simple questions. Your instinct is screaming. Don't ignore that. You don't need to accuse her. But you pay attention. You watch. And 9 times out of 10, the truth eventually surfaces. Your feelings are valid. You don't need her permission to feel what you feel. And you definitely don't need her approval to trust yourself. Strategy 3. The gray rock method. This technique is a game changer, especially if you can't immediately leave the relationship. The gray rock method is simple. Become emotionally uninteresting. Like a gray rock. Boring. Bland. Unreactive. Why does this work? Because narcissists feed on emotional reactions. Your anger. Your defensiveness. Your explanations. Your hurt. Even your love and attention. It's all supplied to them. It's what they crave. When you remove the supply, you remove their power. Here's how to do it. Keep your responses minimal. One-word answers when possible. She says, "You never care about me." You say, "Okay." Not defensively. Not sarcastically. Just flat. Neutral. She says, "You're being cold." You say, "Maybe." Don't share details about your life. When she asks what you did today, don't give her ammunition. Worked. Regular day. That's it. No stories about your friends, no updates on your projects, nothing she can use to manipulate or criticize later. Show zero emotional reaction. This is the hardest part. She'll say something designed to hurt you. Your face stays neutral. Your voice stays even. You're not angry. You're not hurt. You're just there. Existing. Boring. Stick to mundane topics if you must talk. Weather, traffic, groceries. Nothing that can create emotional engagement. Now, let me be clear about when to use this. Gray rock isn't for healthy relationships. This is a protective strategy for when you're dealing with someone toxic and you can't immediately get out. Maybe you work together. Maybe you share children. Maybe you're planning your exit and need time. Here's what will happen. At first, she'll escalate. She'll try harder to get a reaction. More dramatic accusations. Bigger scenes. Maybe even tears or rage. She's confused why her usual tactics aren't working. Stay boring. Eventually, one of two things happens. Either she loses interest and moves on to someone who'll give her the drama she craves, or she realizes you're no longer a viable source of supply. Let me paint you a picture. She starts a fight about something trivial. Normally, you'd defend yourself, explain, try to fix it. 2 hours of exhausting circular arguments. But today, she says, "You never listen to me." You say, and continue what you're doing. She escalates. "I can't believe you." You say, "Okay," without looking up. 15 minutes later, instead of being 2 hours into a fight, she's given up and left the room. That's the power of the gray rock. Strategy 4. Build your support system. Isolation is the narcissist's most effective weapon. When you're alone, when you have no outside perspective, you have only her version of reality. And her version always makes you the problem. So you need people. You need a team. You need witnesses to your reality. Here's how she isolates you. She criticizes your friends. They're not good for you. They don't really care about you like I do. She creates conflict with your family. She acts poorly around them, then plays victim when they react. She demands all your time. If you loved me, you'd want to be with me. And slowly, imperceptibly, your world shrinks until it's just you and her. Don't let this happen. Actively build and maintain your support system. Identify your core team. 3 to 5 people who are honest, grounded, and genuinely care about you. Not people who'll just tell you what you want to hear. People who'll tell you the truth, even when it's hard. Schedule regular check-ins. Weekly, if possible. Coffee with a friend. Call with your brother. These aren't optional. They're maintenance for your mental health. Be honest with them. Tell them you need them to be your reality check. Give them permission to call you out if they see you changing, withdrawing, making excuses for her behavior. Notice the red flags of isolation in yourself. Are you seeing friends less? Canceling plans to avoid her mood? Feeling guilty when you spend time with others? Afraid of her reaction if you make plans without her? These are danger signs. Act immediately. Reconnect. Reach out to the people you've been avoiding. Yes, it's awkward. Yes, you might need to apologize for disappearing. Do it anyway. Real friends understand. Consider therapy. A professional can see patterns you can't. They're not emotionally invested. They can give you objective feedback and tools for protection. Here's the thing. When you have people around you who know you, really know you, it's much harder for her to convince you that you're crazy, that you're the problem, that her abuse is actually love. Your support system is your anchor to reality. Protect it like your life depends on it. Because honestly, your sanity does. Strategy 5. Document everything. This one sounds paranoid. It's not. It's protection. Covert narcissists rewrite history. They'll swear they never said something you clearly remember. They'll claim events happened completely differently than they did. They'll make you doubt your own memory until you can't trust anything. Documentation stops that. Here's what to document. Specific incidents with dates and times. What she said. What you said. How you felt. Witnesses if there were any. Patterns you're noticing. Text messages. Emails. Voicemails. Financial transactions if you share money. How to document. Keep a private journal. Physical, not digital, where she can't find it. Or use a password-protected cloud account she doesn't know about. Write entries immediately after incidents while memory is fresh. Be factual, not emotional. Include context. Here's a format. Date. Time. What happened? What she said exactly, if I remember. How I responded. How I felt. Any witnesses? Pattern connection. For example, October 15th, 8:30 p.m. Discussing weekend plans. I said I wanted to see my brother Saturday. She said, "You always choose them over me. You're selfish." Started crying. Wouldn't speak to me for 3 hours. I felt guilty and canceled. Fourth time this month, she's done this when I make plans with family. Why is this so important? First, it protects your sense of reality. When she says, "I never said that," you can check. You'll see it's not you. You're not crazy. It happened. Second, you see patterns. In the moment, incidents feel isolated. But when you read back through your documentation, you see the cycle, the manipulation, the repetition. That's powerful clarity. Third, it supports decision-making. When she promises to change again, and you're tempted to believe her, you read your journal. You remember. You see that this is the 7th time she's promised to change. It helps you stay clear. Fourth, if you need legal protection, especially if there are children or shared assets, documentation becomes evidence. Never show her this documentation. Never use it as proof in an argument. She'll only gaslight you harder and become more careful about covering her tracks. This is for you, your protection, your clarity. After a month of documenting, read back through it. The patterns will shock you. Things you dismissed as one-offs, you'll see happen weekly. The picture becomes undeniable. This isn't about building a case against her. It's about protecting the truth. Your truth. So you can't be convinced it didn't happen. Strategy 6. Don't play her games. Covert narcissists love drama. They thrive in chaos. And they have a favorite game called the drama triangle. Here's how it works. There are 3 roles: victim, persecutor, and rescuer. She'll play all 3 and try to pull you into the dance. She starts as the victim. Everyone's against her. Life is so hard. She needs you to save her. So you become the rescuer. You fix her problems. You defend her. You sacrifice your needs for hers. Then suddenly, she flips. Now she's the persecutor. You're the problem. You don't do enough. You're not good enough. Everything's your fault. You become the victim. And around it goes. It's exhausting. It's confusing. And it never ends because the game is the point. Your move? Don't play. When she plays victim, don't rescue. She complains about a problem at work. You don't jump in with solutions. You say, "That sounds tough. What are you going to do about it?" Put the responsibility back on her. When she attacks, don't become the victim. She criticizes you harshly. You don't defend. You don't explain. You don't argue. You say, "I'm not having this conversation," and you leave the room. When she tries to make you the persecutor, don't take the bait. She does something clearly wrong, then acts like you're abusing her by pointing it out. You don't chase her. You don't apologize for having a boundary. You stay calm and clear. The key is emotional detachment. Watch the game like you're observing a movie. Oh, she's trying the victim angle now? Interesting. Don't get pulled in. Use the broken record technique. Pick one calm phrase and repeat it no matter what she says. "I hear that you're upset." Just that. Over and over. She'll escalate trying to get a different reaction. Don't give it. Sometimes the only way to win is to physically remove yourself. "I need space. We'll talk later." Then, go. Don't explain. Don't justify. Just exit. Here's what this does. Without your participation, the game collapses. She can't play victim if you're not rescuing. She can't persecute if you're not there to be the victim. The drama needs two people. Be only one. Will she get angrier at first? Absolutely. She'll try harder. The stakes will increase. Stand firm. Because eventually she'll realize the game doesn't work anymore, and she'll either change tactics or find someone else to play with. And honestly, either outcome is better than staying on the carousel. Strategy 7. Plan your exit. Here's the hard truth. Relationships with covert narcissists don't get better. They don't heal. She's not going to wake up one day and realize what she's doing and change. Narcissism is a personality disorder. It requires years of intensive therapy that most narcissists never seek because they don't think they're the problem. Your best protection? Leave. I know that's terrifying. I know you're thinking about shared finances, children, social circles, the time you've invested, the good moments, the promises she's made. But listen to me. Every day you stay is a day you lose more of yourself. So, you need a plan. Phase 1 is preparation. This takes 3 to 6 months typically. Open a separate bank account she doesn't know about. Put away money regularly. You need 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved. Gather important documents. Research housing options. Maybe it's staying with a friend or family member temporarily. Maybe it's your own place. Figure it out before you tell her anything. If marriage or children are involved, consult with a lawyer quietly. Know your rights. Understand what you're facing legally. Get professional advice before you make a move. Build your emotional preparation. Therapy is non-negotiable. A therapist helps you strengthen for what's coming. Tell your support system what you're planning. Make a plan for moments of weakness, because they'll come. Write yourself a letter. Why I'm leaving. Read it when you doubt yourself. Phase 2 is execution. Choose your timing carefully. When you have support available. When she's relatively calm, if that ever happens. When you have somewhere to go. Never in the middle of one of her explosions. Keep it short. I've made the decision. This relationship is over. Don't explain. Don't defend. Don't discuss. Just state the fact. Expect every manipulation in her playbook. Tears and begging. Promises to change. Rage and threats. Attempts to manipulate through other people. Possibly revenge. Stand firm. Leave immediately. Don't stay to talk it through. Take your essential items beforehand. Everything else can be retrieved later with someone accompanying you. Phase 3 is the most critical. No contact. Block her number. Block social media. No meetings. Ask friends not to relay information about you to her. If you share children, communicate only in writing, only about the kids. Keep it brief and factual. You'll be tempted to reach out. You'll remember the good times. You'll wonder if you made a mistake. This is why you need that letter you wrote yourself and your support team. Call them instead of her. The first month is survival mode. Let yourself grieve. Don't make big decisions. Lean on your people. Therapy, weekly at minimum. 3 to 6 months later, the fog starts lifting. You begin seeing clearly how bad it really was. You feel anger, sadness, relief, all mixed together. That's normal. Focus on yourself. Hobbies. Friends. Health. 6 to 12 months out, you're rebuilding. You're remembering who you are without her voice in your head. Your self-esteem is returning. You might consider dating again, but don't rush. A year plus? You've integrated the experience. You're stronger, wiser. You see red flags immediately now. You'll never let this happen again. Don't wait for closure from her. Narcissists don't give healthy closure. You won't get an apology or acknowledgement. You create your own closure by choosing yourself and walking away. And when she tries to come back, and she probably will, weeks or months later with tears or promises or whatever works on you, remember, the pattern doesn't change. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks of good behavior, then back to the same cycle. Possibly worse, because now she's punishing you for leaving. Stay gone. Your freedom depends on it.